Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTbase.com. Today we're going to be analyzing the 43rd Commitments of Traders report of 2021. And as we always do, we shall look at the largest changes in commercials positions. But before we start the review, just a reminder for those of you who are new to COT analysis, here at COTbase.com we offer a lot of educational material explaining to you what this report is all about, showing you some typical examples, setups, how you can analyze the data. We also have some very, very useful videos as well that will guide you through the analysis process of this data. Okay, back to the review and starting off with our first market, the crude oil market. This, of course, is the Brent Crude, so something to note. And of course, it is on top of our list because there's a 41% change in commercials net positions based on a 52 weeks look back period. 52 weeks, of course, corresponding with a 1 year time frame, and that's our chart setting here. So you can see that this change size that I'm just pointing to you is one of the largest changes in the past 1 year. It's very, very large. It is a bearish signal, of course, suggesting some weakness coming in the next couple of days. I do urge you to always, if there's a market that has significant correlating partners elsewhere, you might as well analyze those ones as well separately, okay? Because the best situations are that in multiple markets throughout a market category, you're getting the same kind of signals, okay? Moving on to the 5 years chart, we want to examine the stress levels in this market, and you can see that with this change in traders' positions, we actually got very, very close, much closer to bearish COT extreme levels. If you go back to October of 2018, so roughly 3 years ago, when commercials were net short and large speculators just went net long, that actually coincided with a top in the market. So it's a very, very good example that these bearish COT extreme signals in the crude oil market are very effective. Now, of course, I'm not saying that we are there, but it does draw your attention, you want to be there and be ready when traders commercials go down below the zero line, net short territory, large speculators become net long. That might be a good hint that something may change. I'm not saying it's going to change now, but it's worth noting that we are in a more bearish extreme situation. Okay, moving on to the next market, rough rice. Of course, complex markets, it is something for our subscribers where we combine reports and want to understand the whole market category. But rough rice is going to be our next market to analyze. Here we have a 22% change in commercials position. So that is an opposite signal. It is a bullish COT change signal. The magnitude is much greater than average. We have seen greater changes in the past, like the one I'm showing to you. What a wonderful signal, by the way, a bullish COT change signal coming after a steep decline. But just based on the magnitude, one can predict there's a high chance of probability that something is going to change, and that's what happened here. Of course, we can see bearish examples. We had a bearish COT extreme. We got to understand that right at that point, at that top. That was a larger than average change size that actually pushed the market lower. The second one wasn't effective, but don't forget that change signals are the best when it is in the opposite direction to which the market is headed, okay? And that was the case over here, but not the case here anymore. Okay, the next market, or pardon me, actually we have to look at the 5 years chart and understand the extreme situation, the stress levels in this market. And as you may see, we are more or less in between the two extremes. It's very easy to see if you look at the horizontal line. This is what, let's say, one of the most bullish COT extreme situations. And then, of course, we have some significant bearish extremes all along the way. We are more or less in between those two. So honestly, I don't see too much in the extreme part of our analysis. The next market is lean hogs. Here we have a 20% change in commercials positions. This again, of course, based on a 52-week look back period, and on the 1-year chart, you can see that over there. Now, it's easy to tell that although it is larger than average, but nothing surprisingly big. We actually have seen a bit of a rise Thursday, Friday, so the signal could be a little bit late for us to act upon, although one would expect this move to continue early on in the next week based on the COT change signal. Moving on to the 5 years chart, you can see that we are moving away from these bearish COT extreme levels, which of course were very good signals at that top. I wouldn't say we moved away that much, so it's interesting to see as the price of lean hogs has dropped, the traders' positions didn't necessarily move that much, which means this decline that is going on could actually continue. So, we'd be expecting a nice bullish COT extreme signal before we reach a bottom, and you just got to go back here to in 2018 and you can see what a bullish COT extreme situation looks like. Definitely commercials and large speculators closer to the zero line. Now they're a little bit further away from those levels currently. Okay, let's move on and have a look at large speculators COT extreme. We've got the the wheat market on top of our list. Again, this is the Minneapolis wheat, not the Chicago, so that's something you should keep in mind. And yeah, all time, it means we have never ever seen large speculators, or for that matter commercials, at holding that amount of contracts. Large speculators net long, of course, above 26,000 contracts, and commercials roughly 32, almost 33,000 contracts net short level. Now that of course can easily continue for another couple more weeks before that changes, but it's good to know that these stress levels are that high, and you can start preparing yourself for the next move. Okay, a currency going to be the next one. Mexican peso, 242 report extreme in large speculators. Again, easy to see where that stands. We had a similar extreme back in 2017. Actually, we had this bullish extreme in January of that year, just at that bottom. And of course, as the market moved away, traders started to go in the opposite direction with regard to their positions, their holdings. So we are moving towards those bullish extreme levels. We are closer to those levels right now, which of course suggests that in the medium long run, we could possibly see some strengthening in the Mexican peso. Japanese yen will be the last market for the review. Here we have 158 report extreme in large speculators positions. You can see that over there on the chart, and of course easy to examine what happened in the past when traders were at such extreme levels, and you can see that actually coincided with a buying opportunity. So maybe this is one another one coming after a decline that's been going on since early this year, by the way. So we are very thankful for that extreme analysis, giving us a more bullish picture here. So we'll see. But that is all for this review. Don't forget, you can definitely look at all of the markets if you subscribe to COTbase.com. We only show a snapshot and give you some remarks of markets, but there's much to do. If you want to look at the newest COT report types, that's available. If you want to analyze the futures only data type, we are of course analyzing the futures and options data. And by the way, we have constructed the options only data type for you. There are a bunch of data sets to analyze if you want to choose something else than the net positions. You can dig deep in your analysis with these tools that are available to you. And if you are somebody who trades a specific market, let's say the Australian dollar, then you can choose that on the left side panel over here. Do your settings, and then just go dig deep and search for the values and anything that you are specifically interested in. We offer the entire data set in very, very understandable and viewable format which of course, by the way, can be charted as well. So if you are interested in the large speculators long positions, then that's definitely something that you can see. We chart it for you. You can, take off charts, put them back on. You can download these charts in different formats. If you are interested in a more complex system, we actually have everything that you just saw on our website built into the COT-based Pro indicator, which is available for NinjaTrader 8. Okay, that's something very unique, but maybe even more unique and interesting is the COT-based ICOT intraday indicator, which goes into the micro levels. So here you can actually analyze markets and get signals. And as you can see, these charts below the price chart are very, very similar to the ones that you are used to when analyzing COT data, because we have constructed this. This is not data coming from CFTC, by the way, but we have worked many, many years to get this out for you, so it can help you guide you through a more shorter time frame. You can see this is the gold chart on a 1 minute candlestick chart. So there's a bunch of examples for you, explanations as well. We also have some very, very useful videos explaining the indicator. So I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you very much for being with me in this recent review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish you a very good weekend, and hope to see you in my next COT review. Take care. Goodbye.